Oh, good morning, Miss T. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm trying to see if you guys will hear me just a little bit. I'm just coming on for just a second to say good morning, dear. Good morning. You guys can hear me okay? Because I know I'm at work, but I'm just wondering if you guys can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay? How you ladies doing? How you doing? I know it's early, but this is just a little short something. One is to say good morning. Another one is I got a problem. I got a problem. Okay, you can hear. Good. Great, great, great. So I'll give it a few minutes, just a few minutes while I do this. And then I got to go in a meeting early. Good morning, lovable Leo. Good morning. Good morning. You guys ever get like an anxiety, like when your birthday is getting closer? I'm like, oh God, getting old. I'm getting older. I'm having like birthday anxiety. That's crazy. Like, uh-oh, here it comes. I'm like, okay, God, are you gonna keep me or what? What am I a keeper or what? I be thinking about that. That's crazy. Like, even though I know I've been out here doing bad, right? 'Cause he judging no matter what. It's like, oh Lord. So how are you this morning, lovable? I'm not gonna come on the stage because I'm at my workplace on the floor. So at least I know you guys can hear me. So good morning. But so I once again laying in the bed, right? You say, I know, right, Miss T? I'm like, oh my God, like I think that's what I'm having. I'm having like birthday anxiety. Like I'm happy that's coming because I get to see a lot of my people again coming up and from out of town. So that part I'm excited about. But I'm like, oh my Lord, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I usually bring a cake in to work, so I'll probably go and place the order on that Friday. So then another cake for the backyard. So good morning, beauty. What it do, honey? Hello. Good morning. But I'm here because I have a question to ask you guys. Because maybe it's something that I don't see, or maybe it's something that I do see. And I was laying in the bed playing with Keandre last night because he likes to play Old MacDonald. He's had a farm. Well, I like to sing it for him, and he likes to kind of clap along because his favorite part is E-I-E-I-O. So I was sitting there with him, and I'm waiting on my daughter to um, bring the tent by that I had purchased, and she went to pick it up for me. So I had to get that so I could put the tent up in the backyard too. Then I still have to go get the two more tables and things, and then put my order in for my chairs, right? But as I was laying there, I was like, okay, hey Harlem, Miss Brown, hello. I'm not gonna keep y'all long because I know that YouTube will probably get popping today, and I really don't have much to talk about or laugh about this morning. One of those old bland days, but we all have them, right? So I caught the live, right? And I was like, well, okay. There's definitely, as we all know, a pattern of something going on out here, right? And it is what it is, it is what it is. And things. So I caught some of Randa's live, with the shits and giggles over there, about with Bookham and things, right? And Randa live is about debunking Bookham lies and things, right? And Bookham goes, he's pressed on to try to prove that, he's this person and not this person of what people are saying, right? And that's on him. That's his homework. That ain't on me. That's on him. But it'd be funny. So as I was watching, a little bit of Randa's live kind of got into Kip. So I guess one of my questions that I like to ask the chat, and I wrote it down. It's on my desk. I want to talk about it, because they all talk about, the case with R. Kelly, and then the Aaliyah situation, right? And I have a video that I'm gonna play parts of it without getting into trouble. So, but I want to talk about this young lady's video, right? And it's about Aaliyah and um, Jim Derogatis and stuff, right? So you guys can hear her PowerPoints and her narrative about Jim Derogatis and then Aaliyah and R. Kelly, right? So I'm gonna play that a little bit and go over it. I'm wondering if she has changed her mind after all of the reliable evidence that YouTube has been talking about as far as trying to um, show the narrative of where other people feel that Mr. Kelly just did not do these things this go around of what he is accused of. So I do want to go over that. I think that that'll be cool. And along with checking with the ladies and seeing if they want to do like the first two or three chapters of the Solicus books, right? We don't have to do like the whole book in one day. Just the beginning of it, just to get it started, right? So that I do want to do. But so after I finish that up, I'm clicking through TV or whatever, and by golly, I'm like, here we go again. And that's fine because, like I said, the more that they go, the more that I will go. Except for some days, some days ain't gonna be a bunch of hooping and hollering and all of that darn crazy, nasty stuff. So I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, well, this lady, the catfish has all these panels, right? And the panels are usually about other people's complaints about other people that they do not know of, right? Don't live with them, you didn't grow with them, absolutely nothing about them. So figure, okay, this is the doctor's office. How do we that everybody wants to bring their complaints to, right? This is how I'm looking at this. And so I sat last night, and of course, Scooby Doo had his complaints about one person. And what kills me with him is how he keeps choosing to tell the story to fit his narrative, to flatter his fucking goddamn balls. I'll be like, okay. And so what I'm thinking is like, if you are a sincere person, right, and your heart is so pure, just because, okay, just because you are furious with another person, you do you realize that it does not look good to even sit inside with another bullshitter? You feel what I'm saying? Like I can't. Hey, good morning, Pee Wee. Like I could be mad at you, Beauty, it's me. I could be mad at you, right? I mean, let's say Harlem could be mad at you. Harlem could be mad at you. But I don't know you. I don't know you, but Harlem comes to me, right? And then Harlem starts telling me all of these crazy things about beauty and da, da, da. I'm gonna get to looking at beauty like, okay, well, what is it that you want from me? First of all, like I don't know beauty. So how is it that you want me to engage with you in your conversation? First of all, the only thing that I can do with Harlem is how just to become her listener, but her aggression and her words, she can't find her way to manipulate me to even tap into her conversation to be like, well, that lying ass goddamn beauty, yeah, she ain't nothing. It's because I don't know beauty. I can't do that with Harlem. I have to just let Harlem vent out, right? Most people do it and some people don't. And it's because if you go to the right person, who you know that you don't like, that person is subjected to just agreeing with the other person's bullshit. But do you realize that that makes you a bullshitter too? It makes you look ignorant as well. So I'm looking at the panel, right? I'm looking at this shit, right? And I'm sitting here saying to myself, it don't take but one moron to have the other moron looking even stupider. You know what I'm saying? But this is the person that is educated in this and a doctor in this and an attorney in this bullshit and this or that. But mind you guys, I'm the goddamn fruitcake, nutcake out here. So do y'all understand when I keep saying that? Run that bullshit to somebody else. I don't have that that type of mindset. Run the bullshit. Maybe Bozo the clown, some goddamn where, could be like, oh yeah, well okay, okay, without doing his facts, or Mr. Snuffer, some little superficial ass people, right? I don't get where these people just really don't understand that you cannot run BS on me. It just doesn't work, right? But when I see one moron, when I see one moron takes the bullshit to another person, and then that person sits up there to congregate, to associate, to even agree to the bullshit, that makes you even more of a goddamn moron. I'm not gonna sit here and engage in Harlem situation because of how she feels about beauty, because I don't know beauty to elaborate or even to agree with Harlem or anything. All I can do is just listen. But it's funny how they can feed each other bullshit questions and then they answer each other. And y'all want to tell me who the fuck needs a doctor around here? Who needs a goddamn doctor? Now, all of these sessions has occurred, right? And then I had plenty of sessions over there. Now, after I saw yesterday's session, you would think that everybody that leaves there, you know how like when you leave the doctor, it may take two or three times. Um, it may take two or three times, right, for a person to be healed. Be healed. The doctors try to heal you, right? Or the psychiatrists will try to give you some insight on what you can do to change yourself or feel better, or basically get over it. Get the fuck over it. I don't even think that they have a pill for people to get the fuck over their inner thoughts, their inner feelings about a person. I don't think they make one. So that since they don't make that type of medication for people, it's like that person is just stuck in that run like forever. Like you're gonna talk about and be about this type of shit forever. I'm willing to bet that these people actually go to sleep with this shit on their damn ass, a virtual goddamn shit from YouTube. I really do. I really do, right? So she had a session. Catfish had a session, right? Scooby Doo decided to sit up there and oh my God, here comes Papoose. And Papoose did this and Papoose did that and Papoose did that. And this nigga can't count on one hand the shit that Papoose done compared to the shit that those people that he has went over to the doctor's office last night. What is she gonna do? Like, why go to people that ain't gonna do a goddamn thing about it? Nothing. I don't understand that. I just don't get that. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to him and I'm sitting here going, okay, well, maybe after this psychological session that they're going through, is it gonna be healed or is it still gonna happen? Is he gonna wake up with the same goddamn problem? And if he does, I'm just gonna have to say, motherfucker, your skills is useless. Useless, useless, useless. It's like people, you don't convince. Don't convince. I don't hear that shit. If you ain't gonna heal yourself or fix your goddamn problem to move on to something more nice and pleasant out here for to give you a reason to smile or shine, then and if I'm your doctor and it ain't fucking working, get the fuck away from me. Cause that means that I'm useless. My skills are pathetic. Her skills are pathetic. And then I know it's like, well, these people just come on and tell their stories, and what the fuck you think I am? Well, I think that what you say you are or claim to be, your skills fucking sucks. That's what I think. Everybody that then came and sat on that fucking lab table, then left with the same goddamn problem. They done left. They done left with the same problem. They done left. These people still has the same damn problem that they done went to the lab table about. I was like, okay, something ain't working. I don't know what it is, but it's just bizarre, right? It's really really bizarre. I'm like, so what good are you? Because if I had this type of profession, if I was in that type of profession, that's the first thing I'll be asking. Like, okay, wait a minute, my skills ain't working. That shit fucked up. These goddamn people still doing the same shit. I brought them over here to the lab table or invite them or allow them to come to pour out their spats and their hatred and their lies and everything. And I can't fix a goddamn person. I'd be like, okay, nah, I got to get a new trade around here. And that just say it ain't working. It really isn't working, but it's crazy. But notice how you got all of the people, and it takes for people to get mad at each other and then want to come out here and tell the goddamn business. When I say I don't fuck with them cans, you don't fuck with that stuff. That's what I'm gonna keep adding on so that it can be understood when I say I don't fuck with your can. That's what I mean. So add that to the list. Just because your skin is boiling and you got a problem with a person, I'm gonna come out here and tell your whole goddamn lifestyle. I don't fuck with them cans. I don't. Go have your fucking argument and go sit the heck down some damn where. That's what you do. Those are called lame ass people. When you got to go hook up with somebody else so that they can hear your anger and you're dragging on somebody else, right? Symbolically, right? So you think that you can win. Notice how it's always the evil people that hook up. Notice that shit. It's always the evil, crazy ass people that hook up to share they goddamn stories for validation and shit. I don't need nobody. I ain't going to nobody's channel. I don't need nobody to have my back. I never have, and I never will. Pat Poose been out here rocking this goddamn mic, pretty much talking her shit by herself. She ain't ventured off. Hey, K Nicole, she ain't ventured off out on nobody's panel to ask not one goddamn advice out there. None. But I can't help but to notice how a whole lot of people have. They ain't figure that shit out. A whole lot of people have set up to pour out their hearts about what has happened, and this person has said this, and this person has done this, and oh my God, where they do that shit at? Motherfuckers can't stand their own ground out here. So I heard Scooby Doo, and boy, did he go in. He really sounded like he was being treated as a mental patient. And at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself when I leave here, because I'm thinking that you go to other people for a solution, right? For a solution. And you have to ask yourself, nigga, did you just go there to vent, nigga, or did you go there to solve a goddamn problem? Which one is it? Which one did you do? Which one did you do? Because everybody can talk until their heads turn blue out here. But what was it that you were trying to conquer? What is it that you are trying to gain, to prove, or convince? What is it? What is it? Because the only person that Pap has to convince and prove and validate is her motherfucking self. Not another goddamn human being out there. None. But sitting up there watching him go to the lab table yesterday. That was funny as hell. And the first thing come up is who you sticking your goddamn pecker into. Nobody cares. At least I don't care. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all, but nobody cares. But it's like if you done been down that road and you learn to, oh, this is a pretty goddamn couch, y'all. $8,000. Holy smoke. In a magazine called Business. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. But it's like you can only talk about it so much because after you talk about it and you realize the problem, it's called a solution and healing after that. Go find a solution and heal yourself. You move on. So, and then I saw some other things out there, which I sure in the hell do not believe. It's like, well, R. Kelly knows me. Here's the thing with the R. Kelly situation, you guys. Here's the thing with that. Do y'all really think that Mr. Kelly is really bothered about who the fuck knows him and who he knows? Do you really think so? Because I don't. And the crazy thing about it, he knows so much. He knows me. Who knows me? He knows me. But then go get him out of jail. Go get him out, superhero, super Scooby Doo. Go get him out. Go do what you got to do to get him out. Oh, and like, do people not understand though? Everybody out here will claim that he knows me and I knows him and all of this stuff. Go do your magic trick. Go do your magic trick. But from where I'm standing and the way I'm looking on the outside in, Mr. Kelly is in the world of goddamn trouble if he knows Scooby goddamn Doo. Yeah, that's how I feel about the shit. Cause Scooby Doo, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. You always fucked up. And I did say what I said. So he tried to tell his one little story about I called him when I got to Chicago because of the person that I am. But he wanted to take and flip that to fucking narcissist. Boy, oh my God, are you serious? I called Scooby Doo when I was in Chicago visiting my mother. And where I called him from, stupid motherfucker, if I was on some bone, dry head ass shit, I was bringing you to my mother house to meet you guys before the goddamn walk, to show you that, hey, I'm good people, I'm one papoose, this is who I am. But this nigga sat over there to flip flop, and I'm so glad now that it did not happen. No, because like I say, you try to trust people by their actions and what you're seeing in them. And the only thing that gave me that assumption was because he was on the screen. You were doing the boards. He was doing, that type of stuff. And everybody out here became attracted to that. It's like because everybody was learning the who's in the shenanigans of Mr. Robert Sebastian Kelly. Well, since I was down in Chicago, and because of the person that I am a very nice person. And I was like, well, okay, well, maybe I'll call him up while I am here, and I can meet him and T Baby so that they can know who I am and be acquainted with me. All the nigga had to say was, nah, I'm good. I'm on some hideout shit. I don't like to get to know people, woo, woo, woo. I know how Chicago works, and I would have been cool with that. Well, there was never no meet between us at all. And I left that alone. I didn't call that nigga back to say, well, hey, are you coming? I was bringing this nigga to do a goddamn simple little meet so that him and T Baby can get to know me before the walk had started. Now, what was the harm in that? But you sit your dumb ass over there on that fucking lab table. That's what I call it, because now I'm calling anybody that sit on that fucking lab table is all motherfucking rats. And I don't give a fuck who don't want to hear it and who don't want to believe it. They're fucking rats if you sit over there with that motherfucker. Period. I'm gonna tell you why. Again, good morning, Priscilla. Anybody that got to sit up. Sorry, I got a phone call. Phone rings a lot. And, so it's like, if you want to call me crazy, everybody wants to call me crazy. Or not everybody. Cat crazy. Mentally unstable. I'm so motherfucking mentally unstable. Can y'all explain to me why I'm not the one sitting out there complaining and explaining my fucking life stories to a motherfucker? I would think that the people that's explaining their fucking life stories and venting out some virtual goddamn bullshit is the people that's crazy. That's how I look at it. You guys look at it your way. I'm just saying. That's what I think a motherfucker. Who the fuck sit up and vent out to a motherfucker you don't even fucking know? Tell them your fucking life story or your goddamn YouTube is not my fucking way of getting acquainted with motherfuckers. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. I have the very minimum few of ladies that I made a choice to do something and trust them like it ain't nothing. But these other whack ass, crazy ass people, I wish I would. Now, who fucking crazy? I don't think it's me. I don't think so. And she, I mean, and the person that leads the shit show is the person that gets the gloat the fucking most. The person that has all of your shit. The person that's recording your shit. All that shit. Who the fuck, good morning, Char Char. Who the hell does this? But, and I'm the crazy one. It'll be a cold day in fuck hell before I sit the fuck up to come and tell you about my feelings or another person because I don't like them or none of that shit. But I noticed that all you out there do. And here's the question though. What the fuck is she gonna do about it? Because everybody that walked the fuck away and they got off like Scooby Doo, he's still gonna wake up fucked up. What the fuck did you fix? Nothing. Nothing. Pop ain't wasting her time on a problem that you know that you can't even goddamn fix. But see, it's the gossip, it's the drama, it's the author of fucking confusion on her for shit. She broke in that shit. That shit turns it on, but doing shit like that though. But have it your motherfucking way. Have it your fucking way. But like I say, keep coming, and I'm gonna keep coming. Scooby Doo don't stand up, then I'm not gonna fucking stand down. This nigga don't even know. He's so fucking paranoid with his life. He's so goddamn, what do you call it? Sneaky in the street, right? And I get it where it's everybody's life is their personal life. Nigga, I didn't come down there on no shit. But you're so fucking schizophrenic and paranoid, you wouldn't have been able to, you couldn't even recognize that. You don't even recognize good people when you fucking see them. And that's what's fucked up about him. That's what's fucked up. But now I can say, though, with Scooby Doo, oh, I seen you sit and stand and do all kind of shit with these toxic ass people, but have it your fucking way. Now, the because, and I think how it is, right? Because this is how people do, right? It was some situation where I guess Sylvia was, as it called upon her, which I don't know what that's their thing or whatever. But I was like, okay, well, now Sylvia not just seeing what the fuck she does and how she does it. And then you look inside that situation, and this is just me, you guys, and nothing for Sylvia. A person ain't got but one time to show me how the fuck they are and help this before this shit for a minute. Like, haven't you looked in this? Haven't you seen like this is the woman that came on my goddamn panel and beat with Randall? And I know we set shit to the side, but at some point when a person is started off toxic as fuck like that, we can say we can do this. I ain't fucking with you. I ain't fucking with you. We can men, yes, we can men. But ain't no way that I'm fucking with you. Done. I don't fuck with you guys. Because there's a rule of the thumb, like y'all said about men, right? And all the women say this about the men. If a man try to do this one way, they'll try, they'll do it again. So if a man, rule of thumb out here with the women, if a man hits you one time, he'll do that shit again. Well, that same motherfucking rule applies to every motherfucking thing. Everything. If a bitch act a fool and wanna do this and cuss out, what makes you think she ain't gonna do it again? If somebody done showed you that they have literally like just if you can just lie and lie, and then makes you think that they not gonna do it again. Like I said, we commend them. And I'll never forget what you done. Get away because you only get one goddamn shot with papoose. That's it. And that's motherfucking all. I don't give you 2, 3 shots. Okay, it's all good. It ain't no we good. It's all good. Do your thing. Because I know that we all are imperfect as people out here. Go do your thing. It's never we good. It's all good. It's all good. We good. Good morning, that's not good morning. So I sat and like I said, and I watched. And all this man had was fucking complaints to the doctor over there, right? To the psychologist, to the fucking tech, to the fucking attorney, and all the motherfucking occupations under the belt. And all of this. Do you want just the gossip or what? Because you ain't helping not a motherfucker out here. And I know she gonna come back. Out here to help people. So then now that tells me that you just one big ass catfish motherfucking gossiper. You need the fucking drama and the shit to survive. You need the drama and the shit to survive. And drama people don't mind giving to you. Now, I'm not saying that catfish shit her ass over there. I believe all of the shit that the people tell her because it's fun that she was definitely know any of these people that people come to the doctor to talk about. So imagine that when you go to let's say you go to a real physician, right? And you pull up in there, the real physician asks you, well, what's wrong? You know, the doctor asks, or why are you so angry? And you start talking about Steven Seagal. You start talking about Eddie Murphy and all of that. And the doctor sitting there listening to you, right? Now, he don't know these people. There's no Dr. Deuce, but he don't know what he's talking about, but he knows that, okay, it's a multiple fucking personalities going on in your fucking head. Yeah, it's not just body all that crazy to put your ass on. But I don't know. You know, yeah. My system, my therapist, the same way that there's something wrong with that food. Hey, it's to the fucking extreme. That's just crazy. The only difference between her and I ain't never really diagnosed yet. Only to say that, yeah, something is wrong with you. And I don't know what the fuck it is, so I can't even say. I can't even say good morning, good morning. I can't even say. But I know that, people that sit up and be like, oh, I can't do this shit. Oh, Lord, but it's a big ass button down there that's saying, something is wrong. Something is So yeah, I know what the end button is. I know when I want to come on here and when the I do not want to come on. But that boy sat over there, and for the last two goddamn years, it's a rant, and they did this, and they tried to knock me off my grind about my women, and everybody knows that, T-Baby is my girl, and I'm gonna say her name because she keeps saying my goddamn, whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna say it. One thing about me and that girl, I ain't never said nothing bad about that girl. You know why? 'Cause I don't know that girl. With, I believe it was Miss Parker. Like I said, had not your personal goddamn business was out there where nobody can actually see nothing, then your game would have been full. Last night, I go and do as I please, and though the motherfucker see shit out here to go and tell my goddamn business. Nobody. As a matter of fact, I could have been downtown Chicago with somebody. You would have never fucking known. You would have never fucking known. And you don't know if there was somebody down there with me or not. Just like that old, I'm so glad that. Just like the goddamn drama man. You didn't know who he was. And you would never know. But I know who he was. I knew who he was. I feel like this other bullshit out. Now, they're gonna tell the people to not come down there and they see it, but they not. Y'all was fighting like a fucking fuck out there. People contacting me. Well, what do you think? You go if you want, you don't if you don't. That's not to these are grown ass people. I can't tell them what to do and how to goddamn do. I can't do that. What did I do? Yes, I did come. Did anybody know about it? Pretty much. No, they didn't. You know why? Because they were going to talk me all out of it. One thing about health and safety goes no goddamn well. I am free. I live in the United States of America. I'm free. Okay, I'm going in and out. I'm sorry. I think because I keep turning away from the ball. I'm sorry. So when I showed up down there, everybody else could have showed up down there. They say, okay, what about now? You got it up. What about now? I know they told me that the sound was okay. So what about now, yo yo? Should be okay. 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 I'm gonna stand still for a minute. I was moving. So, uh, did I show up? Yes, I did. Now you would think because people chooses to be ignorant of everything. The crazy thing, hey Terry, the crazy thing about it is right. He couldn't take the good out of that, right? He couldn't take the good out of shit. They want to always look for the fucking bad out of shit. When he did that and he came on his live, because she don't tell these people not to come and she showed her ass up. So he took the good out of it. Because what I was trying to do was show the people that it's okay. I've been doing that. So the last walk that we just did, where you had me going to the one and all this down there, we down there in the red suits and we got the yellow hoodies and all that stuff. You know what it did? It showed a different perception of what's going on. It's harmless, guys. Y'all could come on out. But see, then that didn't even work out because Scooby Doo shows up with some paperwork that wasn't even in his darn name, and this is the police officer's fault, right? This is how bad, terrible the police officers were, right? The police officers allowed him to use the paperwork that wasn't even in his darn name. It was in, I guess, allegedly two women names. That paperwork did not protect him. but because the police officer saw the order of not going around each other. They didn't even look at the names on there. That paperwork was supposed to protect the two individuals whose names was on there. At least that's the story that he gave on YouTube, right? So had they read that shit, it wouldn't have benefited. They wouldn't have benefited him at all. But that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. So, but me, these are long I'm in no position to tell nobody where to go and where to stay when they sit here looking at all of this stuff on YouTube. What I was disappointed in is that you took this shit, something that was good, right? Because he ended up, he ended up with another supporter. Wasn't I down there? You had another fucking supporter down there with you, right? Nope, didn't want that. Didn't want that, right? Because Pat was there and Pat said, oh my God, he went down over there down the street with his park because someone was looking for him, right? But because Pat said that, oh, that made Pat a terrible goddamn person. She's gonna be recording. Oh, she's gonna put herself on the thing. I don't know who in their right mind, who is not in their right mind. If you're doing something to support Mr. Kelly, especially if it was the walks, the protests, the rallies, whatever you want to call them, right? I when you think that one of the goals of changing the perception for him was to get it all out on the mainstream, when somebody make that make sense, wasn't it part of like the perception of people doing the recording? And the crazy thing about it, as you walking downtown like that, everybody all up and down through downtown, sitting in their buildings and all that stuff was recorded. I find it funny though, from the New York one, and I forget the guy name that he was in the paper and he was sitting up in his window where was recording, right? And it went big out there through TMZ because he contacted TMZ because he's a big, was it Marco Polo or something like that? I'm not sure, right? But you ain't have no problem with him because he got that shit out there to TMZ. But he recorded it to hit the mainstream. But since it blew up on what's the social site, you guys, that protest ended up on? I can't even remember because I never even really watched it that much except when we were sitting in the park downtown and Riri was like, oh my God, like it's on what was the social site, you guys? Can't even think of it. The shade room. Okay, I got it. It came to me. Right. And that's when I found out because, she was sitting here and I guess she watches some of those social sites like that. I don't go on the shade room at all, so I would have never known. So, and we're reading it and we're reading it, and she's sitting there and we're reading it, and then the first thing that we saw was like, oh my God, it was 90% terrible, like distasteful, like disgruntled people, like calling like idiots and things like that. But I couldn't help but to notice that because I want to say again, allegedly, I think that was a Marco Polo or somebody sitting up in a high riser in New York who was using their phone to record something and where it got to the shade room. That was all good. But if you're downtown Chicago and you have your phones out and you want to record to get things out to the social media so that they can see the perception of what the Kales supporters were trying to push out, it was a bad thing. How does that even make sense? How does that even make sense? It doesn't make sense. So it's, well, damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's, if I'm angry about this, then I'm going to get on the pot and take a shit on it. But if it benefited me and it shined some light on me by a different source, well, I'm gonna ride the wave on that one. The fuck? Who does that shit? Like who does that type of shit? And you want to tell me that you can open up a lab table and have a psychotic, narcissist ass person like, okay,
the who, what, when, where's, and why's. And like I said, if you allow someone on there where he feels like that, he's telling you his truth, and you're sitting there where you allegedly agreeing with it, and you know that, okay, it's some shit stinking on this one too. But then that makes you an idiot and a moron as well for receiving the bullshit, all because your panties in a bunch about other people. That doesn't make sense. But let them tell it. I'm the crazy one. I'm the crazy one. Whoa. If I ain't seen the level of psychotic out here, it makes me want to write a book about this YouTube stuff. That's true, beauty. That's what, it was supposed to do. But like I say, it took. I think it was the perception of what, I think his name again is the Marco Polo. I cannot be sure. His perception of what he was looking at in New York, he thought it was some, like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is some BS. And that's because the only story that he was oblivious to was what showed on the Lifetime or the Top 5 Lives, or maybe he saw the As Is Entertainment little docu series or things like that. So, and maybe it was the way that he pushed his narrative to TMZ, and then TMZ, and then the Shade Room found their own narrative to where they thought, well, we going the way they headed the headline on there, like, uh, we gonna make it sound bad. So ended up getting just a whole bunch of negative reviews. But like I say, it's pick your poison. Do I want to take a shot at getting bitten by this one or this one over here? I'm going to shit on this one because I don't like these people and don't even have a valid good reason to really be out here hating this much. A lot of it is because of what people done per se did. Some not knowing that it's done intentionally or on purpose, or it was like, my bad, I didn't know. And in that case, I'm aligning that to me. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know that there was an agenda to rake up as many cooter rooters as you can. I didn't know that the things that was okay for him to do was okay, like by his girlfriends or none. I didn't know that shit. None of us knew that. None of us knew that shit down there. Nobody. So it's not just me. It wasn't just everybody is kind of looking around, right? Because had it been nonchalant or discreet and it's just a normal picnic or a normal outing, and had people not seen a bunch of flirtations and things like that, just normal people, just none of this shit would happen. So you got to act, I kept asking myself because I'm listening to how he present this, right? He present this as people need to, stay out his business and stay out his business. Where I'm from, people can't get in your business if they don't know anything. Was he entitled to be going around and sticking his pepper in what he wants to? Absolutely. It's his freaking right to choose to do so. But you cannot expect the feedback, the ridicule of it, because as women, especially when you're down there with a bunch of women, right? And the first thing people is thinking is like, oh my God, like, okay, well, yes, he does have a good, and yes, he does have a baby mama. But then as older people, things changes, right? Maybe at 17, 18, 19, 20, we'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, it's a cute thing to do. It's a cute thing to do. But as you get older, the morals set in on people. And I'm not the only one that feels like this. I'm just the only one that probably speaks on it to that level, because I heard Catfish over there agreeing with him, like, well, yeah, stay out the biz, stay out your biz. So that tells me that she is one of those kind that is okay. And if you think about it, that her man, let's say that And they came in, and, your man is okay to be out there sticking everything that moves. So, and I'll be on the level. I was like, well, okay, but on the other note, on the back page of it, right, it actually shows the type of man that you are. So most of these women down here, and I'm pretty sure they sitting here like, I don't want that kind of man. Don't nobody wants to share a goddamn man. Who wants to share? There's quite a few, but then 9 times out of 10, if it's okay for you to be sharing. You're a man, and it's because you're being shared. So it's like it's just the entanglement, where they, into swinging and things like that. And it doesn't matter. I get to go and do what I want to do, and so the lady doesn't be bitching about that. I want to do. Maybe I can bring one into the bedroom, and then maybe she could bring one into that's fine and dandy. But the persona that most women would get and be like, what in the fuck? Ew, that's most of us. And some of us will be like, well, okay, I'm gonna be down with that. I want to be down with that. However, because it was something that was pertaining to R. Kelly, and we're down there, that's just kind of what you would see. It would just be a bunch of flirtating kind of thing, right? Like, and I get it. Everybody could be flirtatious, but at some point, like, are we coming to take care of business, getting to know people so that we can grow this thing? Or was this a situation where, okay, this is an opportunity because of the person that I I can find an opportunity that, to get me acquainted more better because I'm around all women. Had this happened, ask yourself if it was pretty much dominated with all men down there, would we be out here with this rumor and this crazy stuff about this stuff right here? Not unless a person is gay, I guess. Then no, you wouldn't have this. But we having this whole steady going back to the back burner to keep rekindling the fire on things that could be gone and articles. Most of the people who were down there from the July walk, most of them people is gone. Probably don't watch this stuff. Don't want nothing to do with these things. But for the most of us that is still out there, we can go through the had we done this differently or this different or this different. It wouldn't even make a difference now because it's so freaking old. So why are we still touching on shit like that? Did did anything that I say stop and change who Scooby Doo is? No, he's still gonna go out there and stick his dick in every Susie and Becky and Renee and Melissa because that's his persona. That's what he does. I don't care because I don't know him. Do what you do. And if I still know him, still do what you do. Do what you do. But did it look right with playing the role out, even though that person is that type of person. Like it's just no different from a drug addict. The drug addict got to go to a doctor's appointment. Do you think he's sitting up in there with the doctor sniffing a line of cocaine? No, he knows how to cut it off. He knows how to cut it off. I can't do this around these people because that's his business. That's his private life. And it's something that he wants to hide from his doctor because he's probably trying to get some type of medication and doctor a whole bunch of lies. But people don't understand it. And I'm the goddamn crazy one again. Like I say, you guys got to think twice after. No, I'm fucking not. No, I'm not. I get it. It's just it's easy to shut up. Watch how this shit just let it go in circles and go in circles. But the same people that has these goddamn crazy ass problems is taking the problems to another crazy ass motherfucker. Like, what's the solution? What's the solution? There is no solution. The thing is just tell me your stories. Just tell me the story. I just want to hear the story. Just tell me the stories because it sounds good. One thing you can say about Pat ain't reaching out and telling and coming nowhere for no accolades off of nobody. Finding out by herself. I see that a lot of people out here can't do that. They can't do that. And I wonder why. I wonder why. Hey, Galatians. Why do you have to have political? Why do you have to why do you have to have someone standing behind you going, yes, yep, uh-huh, yep, not that? Because if I said it, I said it. That's it. But like I said, it's interesting. Shit going on. How the fuck would you know that? How would you know any of that? And you don't know me. How can I can't sit here and say what the fuck is going on in Catfish motherfucking head? And I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't know. So why? Oh, it sounds good coming out the mouth. I forgot. I forgot. Loquacious person that just loves to talk and hear themselves talk and make shit up in your head. And who crazy? Because I'm not gonna make a motherfucking thing up in my head about nobody out here. If I know you and I've seen you and I've talked to you, I could tell you something. But if I haven't physically seen you, talked to you, I can't tell you nothing about these people. Nothing. I can't make it up. My mind will not allow me to make it up. I can't tell you that Galatians is, oh my God, walking a train, you guys, because her brain, she got 9 personalities and she just walks this train every morning and she knows this train is coming and it's about to hit her, but she's on here and I be seeing her like with blowing bubbles and shit that she, that she got them from Dollar General. I can't tell you that. I don't know her. So I can't make this shit up about her. So I'm trying to understand how is it that easy for people who claim that there's nothing wrong with them to make shit up in their head. I can't understand it. And I know I can't keep pressing on about it because that should have rubbed off on you. He's like, fuck that. That should have rubbed off on you. No, 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 cannot do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it. SW, I can't do it. I never met you. I don't care if I got angry and bitter with you today. I don't know you to make shit up on you. So is it like, okay, I don't know, like I got to go and Google that shit because I really don't know. That's like a doctor's field, and hopefully, since Catfish knows everything, maybe she can come out and explain to the people that she's leading to the mountaintop on what is it called when people make shit up in their damn head that ain't fucking true, but you riding the fucking wave. How does that work? Yeah, it goes on and on and on. But what do you call those people? What do you call those people? How is it that a person who can lose $10 by coming out of the grocery store and you dropped it, right? And 2, 3 days that you done talked about it the whole day, you done went back and looked for it and everything, but 2, 3 days go by, you ain't talking about that $10 no more. Nobody's talking about that. But you got some bullshit like this that didn't happen back in July, and we still talk about it. And what harm did it do? Because like I said, Scooby Doo gonna stick his dick in anything that fucking spread. He's that type of man. He's that type of fucking man. He's that type of man where he actually have the women that doesn't care. It's a big damn difference. It's a big, if they don't care, then that's fine. He's absolutely right. Nobody should have nothing fuck to say about it. The only thing though, people can't opinionate about it. And I did that. I said that ain't no motherfucking man of mine will be able to come across that goddamn threshold. After I done found out that you done stuck Melissa and Katie and Teresa, is you I said, go be with them. I don't care how they try to clean it up. I don't care how they feel like, well, swinging and being in a non-monogamous relationship is good and it's healthy. Go tell that shit to another motherfucker that's going to tolerate it. Because there's some that will. There's some that will. And that's get off the fact of he tried to throw out there what the comparison or whatever about how your girls look like this over another girl. Everybody got qualities, nigga. Everybody got qualities. All of us do. The males and the females. The males and the females. And anytime you got a man that wants to take another woman's quality and put them up over another woman's quality because you feel like that you rocking a 10, you fucked up in life. Because qualities comes from the heart as well. And you seem to be missing that part of your life. Everybody's not out here to be pretty. And you sat up there on your goddamn at the doctor's office the other last night, pouring out your whole fucking inner soul to a motherfucker that don't give a fuck at all. It's just that let me finna go back at DJ and everybody and Sylvia and all of that shit. Like you were just over there trying to answer a question about her. Now it's fuck that. The Sylvia shit gonna come out, and this gonna come out, and this gonna come out. Dirty. Dirty as hell. Dirty. Dirty. I told the stories. Everybody slow down, Pat. Scott, this shit is crazy, right? Anytime a nigga feels like you got the baddest bitch in the world, and if there was some facts to that, if there was some facts to you got the baddest bitch in the world, there's something missing. Because those women did not get treated like they were the baddest bitch in the world. And that's a fact. And I said that and I meant that. That means that there is something else that is lacking in the baddest bitches in the world that you're not interested in because the dick got to go stick another bad bitch in the world. So somewhere you ain't rocking the baddest bitches in the world. The baddest bitches in the world, whether if it's their skin tone or the length of their hair or the shape of their teeth or the shape of their eyebrows or the way they talk or the way they walk. That baddest bitch like that ain't gonna tolerate that type of bullshit. Now that's a bad bitch in the fucking world. That now you got a bad bitch on the side. And that's facts right there. That's facts right there. But y'all, mm, Sylvia shit is coming out. I listen to all this shit. Listen to the shit with the shit on Randa show with the Kip and the book on them. And I understand that they're saying that they came into this kind of late, and they're them not knowing. 2019. All of this stuff, I'm like, I talked about it all. And I know that a lot of us did not know a lot of us out here, right? But that's their fight. I don't get in the middle of their damn fight at all. That's between her and Bookham, right? But I'm like, am I the like probably one out of 50 out here that just didn't notice it, right? You did. I noticed it like from the beginning, right? And it was like, this nigga toxic. This nigga is dirty. This nigga is full of shit. I don't know how many videos I was dropping on that, right? Laughing with them. So I get it. People didn't take shit serious. But now all of a sudden, it's real serious now about book shit. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. One thing that Randa said was actually true. Well, a lot of things that she says is true and comical over there. And that was about the time how she was trying to explain to everybody, about with Kip, right? And this is the way that I see it with the story because she was breaking down of how he came in and when he came in and how Bookham came in and probably some reasons why they all came in with whatever agenda allegedly that they would have on Mr. Kelly, right? Allegedly, because I don't know. It is what it is. But let's talk about with Kip, and I got to get off of here for a minute because I'm going to do a part two to this shit, right? Because I need to go on my live and start bringing and popping my older videos where I was painting a picture, but a lot of people just, didn't see it. So, jump back to Sylvia for a minute, right? But Aaliyah, to my understanding, and from the way I'm thinking of it, and in my opinion, with Aaliyah started out with her uncle, Barry Hankerson, actually had the rights to Aaliyah's contracts and things with getting her started out. To my understanding, he paired her up with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. He paired her up to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. To my understanding, Mr. Kelly was breaking off and away from their music industry and some other people, right? Well, in order to break off, Mr. Berry put it, I, in my opinion, the way I'm looking at it, well, I want you to work with Aaliyah. And I believe that Mr. Kelly wanted to continue to work with um, Aaliyah. So I believe, this is just my thought, that some type of contract or whatever was drawn out between Mr. Kelly and Barry Hankerson. Go ahead, you can do so and so. We don't know whether if it was a dirty contract or a clean contract, but somehow Mr. Kelly ended up working with Aaliyah in the studio. It could have possibly been something whereas, well, for every song or whatever it is that Mr. Kelly is involved in, that this would be my cut, this would be my percentage of it, right? Because I don't think that Mr. Berry was in a position where he would say, okay, you can just take my artist, you can just take my niece. That's how I feel about that. And so I believe that there was some underlining verbal or probably written contractual agreement with those two, and something fell apart with that. Then the story started coming about. Aaliyah was messing around, and Kelly was messing around. They were messing around with each other, right? Allegedly, she was underage. But during that time, if people go back to 1994, and I did those videos on there, and I showed you guys in 94, Aaliyah had so many people around her, including her brother. Go find the brother. Go look at his old videos. Go see what he says on those videos. He was there damn near 24/7 with Aaliyah. He was her best friend. And when you look at that, go and look at the year of 1994, you would see somebody else around Aaliyah all the fucking time, which was Timberland. Go and look at Timberland and Missy Elliott timeline with Aaliyah. Aaliyah was hardly ever alone. But then you had these people come out and they created the story, even Aaliyah. And I'm going to drop that damn video on you guys. And it's not going to be a good video to weigh into our favor, because I noticed that a lot of videos that's being dropped, and people are kind of dropping them just to get the narrative out. But sometimes when you drop them, it kind of appears to not be in the favor of Mr. Kelly. So I want to be careful on. I gotta stop it and then elaborate on it and things like that, because I don't want it to look how it is said, which means how the female is narrating the story, which is against Mr. Kelly, in a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna do that. But Aaliyah and Kelly started working together. It's 94. Go look at the time. Go look at those people. Go look at Timberland and go look at Missy Elliott and go look at her brother. Good morning. I see you didn't bring me no breakfast in. No breakfast in. You only had one bowl. So now I'm gonna have to now I'm gonna have to fire you. There you fire. Get the new man. Done. 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 No explanation. No explanation. So, but yeah. Go follow those damn timelines. But then you ask yourself, right? Let's move forward a little bit, right? Because then you had after that episode where they tell you Demetrius sat there and tell everybody how he did so and so. He talked about how he went up there to visit Barry Hankerson and all that stuff. Who's to say that there was no deal made at that time for him to start keeping up the mess about Aaliyah? That's just my opinion, people. It's just my opinion. I don't know this store. So and da da da. Who's to say what was supposed to after Demetrius left Barry Hankerson's office or presence of what they were doing. How do we know that that's not when the shenanigans was supposed to start against Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly about with Demetrius? How do we know that Barry Hankerson and them did not set up to say, well, go and fabricate and do what you got to do with that marriage certificate? Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. Only thing we could do is speculate on it, which I'm just opinionating and speculating. Okay. But that's just how I follow the goddamn story. So they do this, and then what did that people start speculating behind that? Oh, that was done as a publicity stunt out here to get the attraction more and more to Aaliyah. It kind of helped Aaliyah name vibrate out here. It rumbled. And what was R. Kelly doing? They dropped that number one hit. Age ain't nothing but a number. Then it went on from there, went on from there. But during that time, now she's over there, her involved with allegedly Jay-Z and then Damon Dash. And it goes on and on. So there's really, to me, in my opinion, no telling who Aaliyah really belonged to, or who you know what I'm saying, or who she was really working with, because there was so many people involved in Aaliyah's life once R. Kelly got appointed to work with her. There's no telling what scheme, what's that these people came up with from the front, from the front, from the door with them. You mean with all of these people? Like I say, '94. You had Missy Elliott and Timberland was around this girl a lot, and her brother, according to him. Go find him. Go look up his goddamn stories. Go listen very carefully to his stories. This boy gonna sit on here and say that he was around his sister 24. They was like best friends, twins. He know, all of her music and this and that. He even had input on her music and things like that, right? Go look it up. So, well, if I sit and I listen, so now you have after that, because I'm listening to Randall's live, right? And I was like, well, okay, everybody's on Kip. Well, Kip came and said that he was also in around this this air of time. 94, da, 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 da. He said that Aaliyah was one of his favorites, right? He also came out to say that, he was there. He kind of he tried to warn Barry Hankerson them that I mean Aaliyah's parents and everything, which you all know that Hankerson is what the uncle. So all of them has the relationships up there of blood going on about oh there's something going on with Mr. Kelly and Aaliyah. And well, if they didn't want to do nothing about it, they didn't want to do nothing about it. Well, just maybe they didn't want to do nothing about it because just maybe that there was some financial contract written up between Aaliyah and I meant Mr. Kelly or whatever and Barry Hankerson for allowing Aaliyah to break loose from Barry Hankerson to work with R. Kelly. She wanted to go. Okay, but wait a minute. This is my artist. We still got to make some type of financial thing. Well, maybe the financial thing actually fell apart or something like that, or whatever the case may be. We won't know that shit. We won't know that shit. We'll never know that shit. And maybe that's when all of these people put into action their plan. You go back to Demetrius. What did Demetrius tell you guys? He took who? Tiffany Hawkins and a whole bunch of other people. And one person was telling the other person. One person told the other person. Who was the golden goose on that one? Susan Logan. Susan Logan should be brought into court. Period. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. How was it that she was able to get all of these people to come in there to want to sue Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly for $250,000 a pop every time they come to their office? The mistress told you guys, I sent so and so to so and so. I sent so and so to so and so. Really? Really? And to the way I can conjure up and think on my own or whatever, that's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to. Even though I could talk about it until my head turned blue, ain't a goddamn thing is going to happen or nothing about it. These are just storytellers. Everybody's just a storyteller, a speculator, opinionator, or whatever you want to choose to be out here. Because there's nothing that nobody can do about this. Nobody. Hey, Shady. And then it goes on and on and on. What happened after with all of these girls and the $250,000? And Kip comes out and starts telling you so he was there with the Leah, whatever. And everybody want to know, well, since you was a security guard or you were in the police status and everything, why didn't you do anything about it that you saw if you saw Aaliyah and R. Kelly, and you knew R. Kelly was messing around with them. And of course, the answer to that is I believe what everybody says on that. I can agree with everybody saying that everybody was trying to protect them a goddamn income. Everybody wanted to make sure that they had money to feed their family out here. So nobody gave a fuck. It is what it is, you know. Then after that, who did you have come out? Public announcement. They said they went on live. I think they was on Nick at Night like twice or whatever, and they told everybody their stories about Mr. Kelly, how they saw this, and they knew Dre was on the bus and was doing this, and then Sparkle's story about this, and then it just went on and on and on and on and on. But to me, those would be the three main people that would be on the stand when it comes to Aaliyah. And I'm sorry. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't believe that the marriage certificate is real. And I'm going to tell you why. Then I'm going to get off of here. Then I'll pick this back up at a later date because everybody can come out here and tell you that, oh, he married her, he married her, he married her. But can't nobody tell you where Mr. Kelly was at, no time, no date, or nothing. Nobody can show me that he did not have no concerts over here or was he in the studio over here. Nobody has showed no proof of where Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly whereabouts was when this alleged ceremony that took place out there near O'Hare Field in a private suite took place. Nobody had these people been able to show that behind this marriage certificate and you have actual pictures or things like that showing him that he was there, then that story probably would be 99% believable to me. But I don't believe that shit. Now let's take it one more little step forward about the goddamn marriage certificate, and then I am getting off here. And you ladies go and have yourselves a beautiful goddamn day. When it comes to the marriage certificate, which I am still trying to look up and get some information on it, right? A legal marriage certificate to Mr. Rock Sylvester Kelly was done in the state of Chicago, of Illinois, the city of Chicago, right? That's the Cook County. It's called Cook County. Now, the other one that I'm going to mention, I'm not sure about the county that's up there. Where did they have this certificate annulled at? In the state of Detroit. Somebody better tell me how the fuck do you take a marriage certificate from one county over to another fucking jurisdiction to have it fucking annulled? I need the answer to that, and I need to know if that's how things are done. If that shit was in the Cook County, to me, which I'm going to go look up, it should have been annulled in fucking Cook County. How do you take a marriage certificate over to another state? Maybe it's possible because I guess you can do that with marriage. You can get married over in Vegas and I guess celebrate back in Chicago. I don't know. I'm just saying, though. You know what I'm saying? I guess because you're married, with your marriage certificate, if you get married over at the chapel, let's say in Vegas, right? You're giving you're going to be given what your marriage certificate, right? But then don't you have to take that back to the county to get it actually sealed and everything and registered into the state or so? hiding from, something like that. I gotta look that up. I'm going to do some research on how does it work with the marriage certificates and what if I choose to have it annulled? Can I have it annulled in a different state? So I just want to know that. But I just found that that was just a weird thing to do. Like, how come it wasn't annulled in the county that it developed from, and in that jurisdiction? So it was just weird to me. But yeah, they had that marriage certificate annulled over in Detroit, and mm, that's just weird. Very, very weird. But I'm going to look it up. I'm just really, really interested right now in that. But, anyways, and that's just how I feel about when you go to people and you are, I guess, looking for some type of healing or for certain people to just listen to your stories or whatever, but there's no solution to it. And then you go to the people who that is already bitter, but hurt about a situation about other people out here. Well, yes, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that those toxic ass people are going to agree with everything that you say. Not saying that they believe everything you say, but just because they're angry and they're bitter, yeah, I'm gonna yap, yap, yap. Sylvia, I don't know what went on over there because I didn't even watch it, right? Allegedly, I guess a phone call was made, got invited on the panel, and it was about an attorney question, a law question or whatever. So she chose the toxic ass one that's out here to help her out on that. And everybody has their right to do whatever you want to do out here, right? But like you can look around and see, like, okay, this is a hot mess. Why would I want to have any opinion from hot mess ass people? I just could not do that, right? I'm going to a person that has always been, humble and have those morals and things like that. Because all of us snippety snap out here. Don't even choose me. Don't choose nobody. That was plenty of people, that's not even in the YouTube sector that you could call on to get some advice or an opinion on things like that. Well, that fell apart, right? It fell apart. Now it's Sylvia's all kind of bitches now, all this and this or that and this or that. So you see, if that person is going to think about you doing the aftermath, and you never seen it coming, you had to see it. You had to see it coming due to the persona, the personality that was already put out before you even asked her to answer a question. Because at any given time, that this type of person can react. So what it does is it makes you have to allow yourself to be on the right track, to watch your every move. Don't do this, but don't do that, because I know that person is going to say some things about me. That's what I mean about the grouping and the clicking. However, I'm sure that Sylvia is unbothered about the situation and everything, but at some point, what it does is just continue to wake more people up and more people up and more people up out here. It's a toxic ass people. And I sit up there that touches on toxic, because Pap just ain't gonna do it, and ain't nobody out here clever to even think that they can set me up or manipulate me in on none of this shit. Not one damn bite of it. Not one damn bite of it. So that's why it's funny to me. And I can keep telling Dubowski and everybody else out here. You'd have wished that you motherfuckers had a good, honest, and loyalty ass fucking person like me on you motherfuckers' side. But right now, Pap ain't in this shit the way everybody else is, you guys. I just like to talk about the stories. I'm not gonna compete with nobody, whether if you could make it to New York or down to Alabama. I'm not gonna do that. I have a family that I take care of. And so that's what I'm focusing on now. With continuing to come out and tell my little stories about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. Because when I snapped my ass back into reality of this shit, I'm not the judge, I'm not the juror, and I'm sure not his goddamn defense team. They get paid the big bucks to get Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly off. And I'm going to always ride till the wheels run off as far as supporting Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. And the crazy thing about it is none of us has even heard his story yet. Court ain't even started. We could sit out here every day and argue about what the girls have said and how they done moved and how they dress and what they doing and all of that stuff. What's going to be in court is what's going to be in court. And right now, because of the motion of the lineman, since I don't know what the fuck it is, and if you think that I'll ever come out here to argue with someone because they feel like that they know something better than me, you'll argue by your goddamn self because it don't take a rocket scientist to put everybody out here to look up. Short version that you need to know is that the defense attorney is asking to hold off. They're going to want to look through some things, and those things are called the discoveries or whatever that the prosecutors had submitted in, and they're going to try to get a lot of those things that they are claiming to put against Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly irreversible, irrelevant to the goddamn jurors, non permissible. We don't think that this should be showed. They will come to some type of agreements to subtract, to erase, to not bring certain things up in the court of law to present to a goddamn juror. So if you feel like that you want to compete against me and explain it so much fucking better and it makes you fucking millions of dollars, then by so go fucking do it because it ain't gonna break me or fucking make me. It doesn't have to be a long term uh, 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 of, of, um, of developing a story to people. It doesn't have to be. You can do a short version of it. People are understanding it. By God, catfish. A lot of motherfuckers out here already know what it is. There's a lot of people out here sitting out here way smarter than you or me and anybody else sitting up out here. It's sitting up out here. So, it's like just cut the fucking crap and oh shit. And it's like you can't go portray to be fucking Einstein and develop another motherfucking light bulb out here that's gonna save me some motherfucking more energy. How about that? Go do that shit. Go figure out how I can go through the red, the green, the yellow lights and catch all the motherfucking green lights because I'm actually tired of stopping at the red lights. Go Einstein. Hi, Jojo. Go Einstein some shit up like that. Go figure out how the fuck that I can run a refrigerator without electricity. How about that? Do that. Argue about this and argue about that. Help ain't got nothing. It is not in no shape, form, or fashion trying to prove anything to nobody out there. Nobody. Everybody good. These people are grown. They ride their own way. Ride your own way. But I gotta go. I did my best. Go and pick up for too. But that's how I feel about this whole Aaliyah thing. Talk about the bride. Who did she bribe? Who did he bribe? Who did he pay? Who has the money? Who wrote it up? Who wrote the marriage certificate up? Where he at? She at? Who did that? Why Demetrius didn't never tell you guys who he paid? Did he tell you? Did Demetrius tell you guys who it was that he paid money that Mr. Kelly paid money to? Did he ever say so? Because I don't recall him. I don't recall him. That somebody was paid or blah blah blah. But he didn't drop a name. And if you ain't dropping me no names to no stories, then your story is nothing. I am too, Esther. I am too. You know, I am too. But I think it's funny. Judy, you say you didn't. I ain't hear it either. He all they gave you was details, these little details. But those little details do not complete a story. Where's the who, what, when, where's, and all of the goddamn whys at? And they're missing those. And when people are missing those in their story, the same way Scooby Doo just went to try to tell his fucking story about how I called him to come over and meet me, but he couldn't even tell that right. There was a who, what, when, where, and why. The who was me. The when was the day that I had called because I was at my mother's. The where was at my mother's. I was going to bring him. If I'm on some bullshit, I'm going to bring you to my mom's house. No, that was me setting out to try to develop this trust, this trust thing. You can get to know me. I can get to know you. We got to walk together. I'm the one that called you to ask you to come, and if you want to put your work out there and walk and get to know people and all of that stuff. Why? Because the ladies felt that when we all agreed upon it, he was doing the board. DJ was doing the media stuff. He was good at it. Pushed this out. Trent was doing the amendments. Had it been DJ and he was down there and I had his number, I'd have called him up. Had it been Trent, I'd have called him up. Meet me in IHOP, but so and so, because that's the person that I am, so that you can get to know me. The same thing with Don Russell tried to call Sharon Woodbush. Meet me at Chicken and Waffle or whatever the heck he work at, so I can get to know you, so I can know who it is that is asking me to pass the paper along or to pass this along or about the music or whatever. These people just didn't want to meet up. But they so quick to come out here with a fucked up ass story about you. Had you came, you'd have known who I was from the beginning. Had you said, oh, had you been that pleasant guy, had you been that humble man, had you been man that don't think bullshit and living a normal life, had he been that, he would have showed up because I didn't have with no strings fucking attached. There was a man there with me, chilling with me, and my mom, the husband. We all sitting right there on the fucking front porch. I literally was about to, introduce him like to my mom and say, Auntie, baby, these are the people that we're gonna be walking together, downtown. That was the story. I'm glad to know that he is not a humble person. You are not a man of showing, I guess, new people, because I would say I would be new, of showing that the hospitality, I'm a good person. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing on the goddamn fucking tip at all, because I have been comfortable at all. But if things don't sit right with somebody or whatever, instead of just these are the people that you deal with out here that wants to come out and talk about you in a bad way. Like you didn't know me. All you had to do was get to know me. That was it. That's all. That was it. That's all. Crazy as hell. You say wasn't a politician at one point of time, so I'm thinking he had something to do with that so-called annulment. Bree, I agree with you too. And I'm gonna write that down because I'm gonna dig. Like I said, I'm gonna dig further into that because I just believe that, from the beginning, when Aaliyah and Mr. Kelly started working together, that there was some type of, whether if it was a verbal or a written contractual agreement, like, okay, I will, release my artist to you. I want you because I want you to work with her. You know, you can't be in your right mind to believe that Barry Hankerson just let an artist go who he even saw big, big dreams and things for this girl, which she ended up being. So I'm going to put you with another great artist. Now, I can speculate if the deal fell through or whatever, but I'm telling you, around 94, she wasn't just around Mr. Kelly. She was around Missy Elliott. She was around Timberland. And then a little bit further down the line, now she's around Dame Dash. Now she's around Jay-Z. Really? Really? Like, please. After that age, ain't nothing but a number album on and things on there. That was pretty much, it. She, she got, she can see that she's got music over there with on Timberland's albums, Missy Elliott albums, which I believe she does. Then go and listen to her brother. Yeah, go listen to her brother. Where is her brother? Huh? But I don't know. That's where I'm at. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that because it's just sickening. It is so sickening, especially watching it coming from a man. Like, I've done nothing to you, and I just keep asking him to stop the slander, stop the fucking lies. But I'm at the point now to where I'm saying keep running them because the only person that's looking like an idiot is him, especially when I'm down there with two ladies. I'm down there with two ladies that sees and know every goddamn thing. So it's like that's just crazy. They produce a fake marriage license where can't nobody produce in a no paper. That's true, beauty. That's true. But like I said, they tell you that it was annulled in Detroit, but they got married and everything. Like, oh, okay. So I don't know, but that's for, just me. Like I say, people sit here thinking that I don't read and I don't do things. And the Kip whole story, I've been down that road with that. And I do believe that Kip, the first Kip story was about how him and Mr. Kelly and some more people, they had stopped by like a basketball thing or whatever. They saw Booker standing side or whatever, and he was looking all whatever, all dusty and things, and then Kip was telling you that he was out gang banging and was in a lot of trouble. So Mr. Kelly, was like, well, okay, well, Kip said how they got him all cleaned up and initiate them into, I guess what he started to do was a little security with them. Believe that when Kip term ended, he decided to end because he does tell me he leaves. I believe that ended Bookham contract or verbal contract with securing Mr. Kelly as well. And I believe that there was no association with Bookham and Mr. Kelly anymore up until the time here we are in 2019. I believe that when Bookham went down and Bookham trying to get in touch, he's got in touch with some of the older people who got in touch with Kelly. And it's like, well, come on, man. Well, you could come on down. Yeah. Well, bring it to us. Booker trying to convince him. I got some people that wants to support you. What you want to go through? They want to meet you. He brings them down, and it didn't even end it there because Booker was still at some point in time, somewhere now, this big shenanigan whatever these allegations are out here, defense fund and things like that, and the women coming down. Somebody somewhere started making some money, 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 money. Didn't end there. I don't think it would have ended. I can't say for the sake of me, but Bookham knowing that Mr. Kelly was going through these things, why in the fuck would you bring this J man in which he people that he was aware, I don't know, that she was on this goddamn um and she come out and want to tell you how that her he feel and take. She even said that she was up in the Trump Tower around where they're now. He comes out and he talks about how he sticks his piglet wiglet in her over 16 times. You feel what I'm saying? So it was just this whole story has been wild and freaking crazy. But my point, I think what I'm trying is out of all of the stories that has been told and all of the people that has come out to tell all of these stories, how is it that all of them has circled with arguments amongst each other, with telling on each other? And it's been the same people but at the same time, nothing has happened to anybody. Nothing. It's just been all. I don't believe that nothing is going to happen to any of these people out here. What do I believe? I believe that they all are trying to cover each other's ass. That's what I believe. One goes, one is going to tell on all of them. So what they do, they keep it at a minimum of just arguing, deflection, pointing the fingers. But all of their stories, and I'm sorry, it's even coming from the supper table and coming out here from that the defense, things like that. And it's the same people somebody's hiding something very deeply, and somebody is, all of them is avoiding to keep themselves out of jail. 'Cause if one goes in there, they gonna drop the ball. Every single one, everybody on how all of this shit developed. And that's just how I feel about it. And that's my thought. And I'm sticking to that shit. If it happens differently in 2025, because that's how long this shit gonna be, right? Then it is what it is. But what Papoose had learned to do when I first dropped in 2019 doing book on that date, I knew I was staying the fuck away from all. I wasn't these people like that. Had phone conversations there and things like that, and I would be listening, and and rebuttaling back on some things like that. But the trust, I don't think your fucking drop nothing to tell nothing or whatever, because I know if you do that, you're not going to do nothing but open up the door to something else. And I don't have other doors to open up for people to involve me in shit. One going to their panels, one doing none of it, and I'm still not going to do it. So, with that being said, I have to ride this out solo over here by myself and telling my stories, and I'm good with that. Some I will not be coming back if they have intentions of being verbally like some crazy, then I'm gonna come back and tag their ass. But if it's just so petty ass, okay, her hair ain't combed out, I don't give a fuck about that shit. Shit like that, I can just skate right on by. But be verbally, yeah, crazy with your shit. Yeah, come back and hit your ass on that shit. And one thing I can say, we do. It should, it belongs. Period. You should lie to a porta potty. You had to push that stuff. You had to push that story. You play that fucking video, but it's still out there. It lied about with the K baby. Like I said, K doing the fucking application. How you think you got at the spot at the park out there? It was paid for. Porta potties. Ignorant ass motherfucker. Because we were in a pandemic and the state wasn't going to allow everybody to keep going in and out in one goddamn porta potties. The place wasn't even open for people to even place sports. Had it been, you'd have found a porta potty down there when they had that same fucking riot that went on down there. You know that they was tearing down the statue thing. There wasn't a porta potty down there then. So what makes you think that we were so much fucking special to get party during the pandemic season, but another goddamn protest was going on down there, and they was ripping shit down there, but they didn't have one. You make that shit make sense. It wasn't a porta potty in the fucking park for no goddamn body. So, but K Baby was on the phone when I did the application for 2 fucking hours. She was on the phone when I put the goddamn card to the lady on the phone to complete the deposit for her to be out at that. That was it. That's all. But let you tell it. You seem to know everything. But tell everybody your thirst quench from drinking on one of Riri beers out my truck. Because I don't drink beer. But I trusted you enough to send your ass to the goddamn truck. And I don't trust people. But I gave you the keys to go to. Here we go. See, that came with trust. Because you don't just let anybody that you don't know into shit. But I let him in my shit. I did. Because I didn't have no problems with him. Oh, you say you jumping all over the streets? I'm finna go church because I gotta go jump over the streets too and see what's going on. You guys, stay positive, and I will talk to you guys soon. Because there's more, but I got to go look up this annulment thing and see how the hell that works when you claim that you can annul a marriage certificate in a different state, jurisdiction, county. So I just want to see how that works because I'm a little bit nosy. That's all. And go and jump on page and see if there's some update on the schedule digest about the motions of the line, and I want to do that. So yeah, have a beautiful day, ladies. Talk to y'all later. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in and on your way out. Show your girl some love. And I'll holler back at y'all. Bye bye.